Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up It's Wednesday. Today's topic is the power of music. Now, I absolutely love music, multiple genres as well. And I've noticed that different things happened in different stages of my life. I actually love music so much that if there's a hard rock cafe wherever I am, I have to go to it. And I take so many photos of the history in there. My favorite was actually Seattle because that's where Nirvana comes from. And he is the start of like alternative rock. And when you sit and think about all the bands that were influenced after him, it's incredible. But we all know that I'm very capable of going off topic, so I have my notes to keep me on track, that I can get the message across to you today about just how important music actually is in your life. And also, what are you telling yourself by the music that you listen to? Now, I'm not talking about you went through a teenage phase and the music had swear words just to annoy your parents, or everybody else thought that band was cool, so you listened to it too. I'm talking about music that you personally choose. And we've come a long way when it comes to music. I'm sure a lot of you can relate with me. When I was small, well, not too small, but I mean, when I was younger, um, CDs were a huge thing. There wasn't MP3, you didn't download anything. In fact, we actually still bought tapes that had the songs on it. And then you would get the CD when it was released, and it became a huge thing. I also had, like, you'd listen to the radio with the tape, and then the DJ would say something and then play your song, and you'd quickly record your song so that you could put a tape in the car if you didn't want to listen to the radio while you were driving. So, and then we evolved from that. We went that CDs became the main thing. You no longer had tapes anymore. And then all of a sudden we evolved to MP3s and you no longer bought CDs. Now on your phone, you can just go into YouTube, type in a song that you wanted, and download it. And it's incredible, actually, that we have access to this music. I love it. That I can just go crazy music wise and store it all in one place. Although I must be honest, I still have that big, thick CD case with all the different CDs, and it literally feels like it's telling a story as I go through the CDs I used to rotate in my car when I used to drive everywhere and stuff like that. So, but music's incredible. Now, the power of music, okay? What if I told you that the music you are choosing to listen to is the soundtrack of your life? I'm sure everyone at some stage has thought about if they had to have a soundtrack to their life, what songs would play. And I'm not just talking about your favorite songs and not just what's on your playlist. I'm talking about the music that you select when you're happy, the music that you turn to when you're hurting, the music that you turn to when you're angry, the music you turn to when you're driving alone. Okay, and what songs do you put on when you're driving alone? And also maybe music that you select when life feels incredibly overwhelming. So your music choices actually reveal more about you than you realize. And yeah, we're gonna work through that today. Okay. So music is never just music. A lot of us think that we listen to music because we enjoy it, but that's not true. Because then you wouldn't select certain songs, okay, or certain things wouldn't evoke emotion in you. We listen to music because it helps us to feel something, and you are a soul. You are a being, and we need to feel. And so we often listen to music to feel something or to avoid something. Okay. A song can comfort us, it can distract us, it can motivate us. A song can help you with your grief, it can help you to heal. And a big one is songs help you remember. And it's crazy, actually. Music is one of the few things that will bypass all logic and go straight to emotion. And you don't think your way into feeling a song, you feel your way into it. So there's no thinking when it comes to music. That's you often, if someone has been through some kind of heartbreak and you have a girls' night out, whenever they play those empowering lady songs, I mean, everyone's on the floor and you're like, no turning back and I'm stronger for it and all that type of stuff. it evokes this emotion in you when you're with your friends that you can get through this, you can do this, you deserve better type of thing. Okay. And this is important because, as you know, I'm very big on awareness. I'm an awareness coach. So awareness starts with emotion. Awareness starts with observation and emotion. So the songs we choose often reflect the narratives we're telling ourselves. Okay, and if you've attended my awareness masterclass, we speak a little bit on your narrative, and I'm very big on helping you to rewrite your narrative the way you want it to be. So this is where it gets interesting. Think about your favorite songs. I don't care what era it comes from. Think about your favorite song. I don't care what genre it is. But what does the song actually say about you? What is the song saying? Do you have a wide variety of songs that you choose from? Or have you picked a certain theme of music that you listen to? Are the themes that are appearing, do you have heartbreak, freedom, faith, frustration, resilience, loss, hope, belonging? Because sometimes the song you keep putting on repeat is actually an underlying thing to tell you about the narrative that you're telling yourself, what story you're telling yourself. And if you constantly are resonating with songs about rejection, abandonment, betrayal, not being enough, and we've spoken about that before, about being enough and that you are enough. Why are these songs resonating so deeply with you? What story inside the song is connecting with you? Awareness isn't judging yourself. Please, it's not. You're not judging yourself. You're becoming more curious about yourself. So the first step to awareness, as you would know from previous talks, is to pause. And when you pause, observe. Step back and observe. Okay? Music creates emotional anchors. If you've ever heard a song, like, I mean, this happens to me. You hear a song and instantly you're taken back 20 years. Now, a prime example for me is in South Africa, where I live. When you finish school, when you finish matric, grade 12, um, like an initiation thing back in the day would be to go to plate rage. Okay, this was a huge thing for us. Now, I was the youngest in my group of friends, so my plate rage was the last one. We were all like, Shanna's the last one, and then we're done. Okay, to this day, if Tracy Chapman's Fast Cars comes on, I'm taken back to one of my best friends who now currently lives in Portland, Oregon. And he and I are driving in a Golf the second day that we are in Plate. It is beautiful weather, the ocean, the sun, the windows are down, and we are blasting Fast Cars out of the windows. It's got nothing to do with the lyrics. That's not telling my story. But the memory that I associate with this song, that's my narrative. And it's a good one, although it's a very sad song. The narrative of my memory is a happy one with such a special person at such a crucial time in my life, finishing high school. But, we have songs that are attached to emotions and to memories. And this is a good one. Okay, this is a good memory for me. It also, music becomes like the emotional bookmarks in your life. So, that is my matric. My end of matric is Fast Cars, by Tracy Chapman. But then I can listen to other music from my raving days where the emotion I feel, if I listen to Tiesto Delirium Silence, which I've always told people is the national anthem of rave, I can sit and I can close my eyes and I can feel the vibe come through my body, the energy. And I love to dance. I really do. And I could just close my eyes and listen to that bass and feel that voice go through me. And it takes me back to some of the biggest, most enjoyable parties of my life where I'm so free and I'm just being me, dancing until the sun comes up type of scenario. Music can heal. I find music incredibly therapeutic and healing. And this is why you have music therapy to help people. Music has been shown to reduce anxiety, to lower stress levels, to improve your mood. And I'll tell you what I do every morning that gets me going. Support your memory. Often you can, when you associate different things with music, you remember certain things, and it can increase your emotional regulation. So don't underestimate the power of music. But healing isn't only scientific, it's personal. So there is no set playlist to listen to that's going to make sure you have the best life. Sometimes a song can say something for you that you are unable to say. Sometimes a worship song will remind you of a situation or will increase your faith. Now, for me, I lost a friend to cancer in February 2024. And about 2 months before she passed away, she sent me a song. And it's a praise and worship song. And it sings about how she's scared and that she's just having to trust God, and she's in this space and she doesn't know what his plan is, and she's just scared. And it's called The Strength I'm Standing On. I can't listen to that song anymore. When she sent me the song, I knew she was at a stage where she was done and she was trying to hang on to hope. To this day, I still have the song on my phone. I can't delete it, but I can't listen to it anymore because it's not just the words, it evokes a memory for me that hurts. So there is so much attached to what you're listening to or what gets to you. And I will get to a stage one day, and I have with other songs, which I'll explain later, where I can now listen to the song without it upsetting me anymore. But we have songs that were our first dance. We have songs that are a joke amongst you and friends. We have songs that are you loved someone, you broke up, now you can't listen to that song anymore. I don't know if you remember when you were younger, every couple had their song. You have your song on your wedding day when you open the dance floor. So you have, yeah, music is just one of those most incredible things available to everybody. But what I'm going to tell you now is I want you to be careful what you feed your mind. So let's turn the mirror around. Every time you have a talk with me, this is your mirror moment. Let's turn it around, okay? What are you feeding yourself every day? And if you don't listen to music every day, let that be my challenge to you. Start listening to music, okay? You're going to be so surprised. I'll tell you at the end of this video what I started doing. And I cannot believe, well, I can believe because I believe in the power of music, but it just changes my whole day, okay? Because music isn't neutral. So what are you feeding yourself? You're influencing your mood, you're influencing your energy and your focus through music. Don't spend hours listening to music about anger, bitterness, hopelessness, negativity. Don't be surprised then if you tend to carry those emotions around with you, if that's what you're filling yourself with. Now, I'm not saying if you are an Eminem person and you want to go back and listen and reminisce on his angry days, do it. But then also go find some of the modern stuff he's written, and he's also written some beautiful religious stuff as well, because he has evolved too as a person. A lot of our artists, if you listen to their music, it's their narratives. Go listen to Pink. Go listen to when she was she's my age now, but I mean, when we were younger and she brought out Get the Party Started, and she brought out Like a Pill, and she brought out all these things about her own inner strength. And then you see as she's evolved, she wrote the most beautiful song to her dad who passed away, which resonates with me a lot. As she writes songs with her children. And so her music is now her narrative. So yes, go back, listen to some of the stuff, but also see how they've evolved and evolve with them. Okay. But yeah, awareness asks the question. Okay. And it's what are you repeatedly exposing yourself to? And is it helping you become the person you want to be? So you know what? Go and listen to music of the person you want to be. Okay? Create the soundtrack of your future. So sing songs that remind you of strength, of courage, of faith, gratitude, endless possibilities. What music brings you back to yourself? What music reminds you of who you are and where you want to be? What music supports the life you're trying to live? Because every day you are reinforcing something. And the question is, what are you reinforcing? What person do you want to be one day? Are you reinforcing the person from your past? Or are you going to take that leap and start reinforcing the person you want to be? So I'm going to end by telling you I have got songs in my life. When I was diagnosed, Prime Circle came out with this song, two songs actually. One was Live This Life, and the other one was Breathe, which asks you to just stop the world from turning to give me a moment to breathe. My kids that I was teaching at the time got the Eminem song, I'm Not Afraid, and they turned it into an anthem around me during my treatment. They took the chorus and turned it into an anthem about how they're going to hold my hand through every step of the way. My father-daughter dance at my wedding is Every Breath You Take by Police. And I couldn't listen to it for a long time after I lost my dad. But now when it comes on, I get a sense of peace. I remember my father-daughter dance at my wedding. I smile and I almost feel like my dad's got his hands on my shoulders. So I've healed from that. So what song are you playing? I wake up every morning like everybody else. But you know, when I got to make my bed, I put on I've Got This Feeling. And I dance around my room as I make my bed, as I get dressed, as I brush my teeth, as I get stuff ready. And I find I walk down the stairs with this like jive going on. So, what are you doing? Remember, it all starts with awareness. So, wake up. It's Wednesday. And until next time, have a good one.